Our next award is given to the outstanding alumnus in visual and performing arts and will be introduced by Vin Graybill, Associate Professor and Chair of Visual Arts.
Okay, thanks a lot. That's great. Some tough acts to follow here. I am very pleased to introduce Dean Alexander. Dean is an award-winning photographer who has lived and worked in Baltimore since his graduation at UMBC in 1988. I urge you all to take a look at his website and to see some of the wonderful photographs that he's produced over the years. His work ranges from the artistic to the commercial, and in both categories, the quality of his work has been recognized by esteemed individuals and institutions. We at the Visual Arts Department are particularly impressed with a series of international awards he has received over the last few years. And he is indeed at the top of his form. His work continues to gather plaudits and acclaim. While his creative accomplishments are very noteworthy, I'm also very impressed with the degree to which he continues to give back to the community. He regularly invites school groups to his studio in Baltimore, and he engages our students in the Visual Arts Department to work with him in his studio as interns. Dean has also dedicated himself to many charitable causes, including the Red Dress Show on behalf of heart disease in women, the Children's Defense Fund, and the United Nations Population Fund and Population Services. He's also provided his services on behalf of many Baltimore arts organizations, including Maryland Art Place, Creative Alliance, and Center Stage, assisting these organizations with their promotional and fundraising campaigns. And in fact, he's hosting a major fundraiser for the Creative Alliance at his studio tomorrow night. So one thing after another. In a letter he wrote to me earlier this year, Dean expresses the great value of the education he received at UMBC. And since his graduation, Dean has done much with his education, and he continues to represent the university in an outstanding way through his distinguished work and citizenship. I give you Dean Alexander.
Thank you. And thank you to the committee. I'm truly taken back by the award and humbled to be with the other honorees. It's truly something. You all have remarkable stories. I want to acknowledge my family, my mother and father here, and my wife Donna, daughter Chloe. Hey Chloe. And my long-term agent, Timmy Wolf, who is actually a UMBC alumni, went to photo program with me here. So we actually have been in business together for frightening almost 20 years, huh? Just a note. And you know, it's a real treat to be back here on campus. We just went over to the alumni show at the Visual Arts. If you've not caught it, it's pretty incredible, I have to tell you. Just the depth of the work and the scale of the work. In fact, Vin, you know...
Faculty show, not alumni.
I'm sorry, faculty, rather. I'm sorry, probably. Yeah, the faculty show. And it's great. In fact, Vin had some amazing pieces there. So it's great. I'm proud to see how far the visual arts program has come. And I think the school in general, I mean, it really... It goes to the vision, the long-term vision, investment, and I would say perseverance that has happened. I mean, I think those seeds had been were there when I went, but you know, you hear that talk a lot, but seldom do you see the fruits of it as much as you do in this situation. So I think I'm proud of it. I think, you know, clearly we all share in that. You know, the facilities, the supportive technologies, all of it's just truly remarkable. When I came here, it was still, you know, we didn't have quite the facilities that you had now, but I tell you what we did have were the faculty, they had incredible interest and passion in the subject matter and the students. You know, Mike mentioned that it was about really personal relationships, and I think, you know, I feel as well, it really is that. I'm in the camp that believes that interest and passion is the most important thing of all. You know, within everything else really falls into place. You know, that's what inspires, and that is, you know, there again, with that, you will figure out the rest. I have to apply that every day in what I do, because I'm walking essentially into unknowns, whether that's a technology, whether that's you know, a concept, whether that is just you know, the scale of a project, whatever it is. There's a constant learning curve, and there's not just the amount of unknowns on any given production. You know, it can be frightening. And also, Timmy can attest, we go up against some pretty formidable competition when we're going for things. And I have to give myself a little talk that, you know, boy, can I compete with them, you know, on just what they can bring to it, on just their capabilities aspect? And I'm not sure. I mean, but, you know, the decision I make for myself is that the thing that I can do is I can be more interested in it than anyone else. And that's, I think, something that, you know, it goes back to that sort of defining time, you know, within the period, and while you're a student, that really, you know, comes home. I think the other important component is support, and you know, when I was here, we were given, you know, full support to pursue sort of individual interest. I proposed the idea of going photographing in Asia for 6 months for my senior project. I was not only encouraged to do it, but I was given gallery space upstairs here in the Albin O. Kuhn. And I tell you, the knowledge that the work would be shown in that venue while I was gone was a real motivator, and I think really it really honed how I approached the project while I was there. My professor who oversaw it, Alan Scher, you know, unfortunately there was tragedy in Mumbai, but I tell you, he gave fantastic encouragement and feedback while I was on the project, and I you know, I was just really grateful. That experience, you know, ended up being one of the most defining experiences for me. That I think, just on a social level, on a cultural level, to see the cultures at that point, and I will assure you, 20 years ago, India was a different place than it is now, and I mean, when you were there, you were away. It was a different world. So on that level, it was really profound for me. But also, there again, on large projects that I'm on all the time now, just on a level of pulling it off, being in that scary position of what do I do, the sort of the unknowns, and trying to make the best of it, and not to mention forming an entire idea, an entire body. You know, that experience really was amazing for me. So I would say that when I speak to UMBC students now, I can tell that they still get that that positive reinforcement, that you know, that interest, that passion, that support, and I mean, you can feel it here in this room, and you know, it's very exciting, and I mean, you know, I applaud everything that's happened here, and there again, from my experience, you know, I'm thankful, and once again, thank you for the honor.